If it's more comfortable, go ahead and place that block under your seat or a blanket to elevate your hips. And take a little moment here, just wiggle around, let yourself get nice and cozy into your mat. And take a few deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I always like to invite some organic movement as you come into this first position, and to start becoming aware of where you might be holding your tension, your stress, your emotions in the body. And start to let your seat settle. Take just a few more deep breaths here and lengthen your spine. Imagine you can make just a little bit of space between each of the vertebrae, all the way up to the top of the head. And then bring attention to your shoulders and take a couple loops up towards the ears and back down. Just come to a nice neutral position where you can feel the openness across the chest. The lower belly is relaxed. And there's a stack of head over heart over hips. Notice the position of your hands. If you've naturally come with hands facing down or facing up, typically the body will go to where you need to be. So you might just trust where you've arrived. But if you have a special intention today, or if you need to bring in some more energy for this evening, you might turn your palms up in a sort of receiving kind of manner, or turn them down purposefully to be more inwards focused. Let's start to quiet your breath, just letting yourself breathe naturally in and out through the nose. Bring attention to the muscles of the face, the jaw, the throat, and neck. And see if you can start to drop out of the head and down towards the heart, towards the belly, and letting your weight ground into the earth like a magnet. So there's a physical sense to this, right? That dropping down, that dropping inwards. There's a physical sense to it. You can feel the weight of your body dropping. You might feel your jaw relaxing. You might feel the shoulders move away from the ears, or you might feel the weight of the hands and the knees. But there's also then an emotional, mental component to it. So notice what thoughts or emotions might be occupying a lot of space in this part of your body, in your mental, emotional body. Just notice how you're feeling here. And see if you can start to breathe into the belly and drop out of the mental, emotional headspace and let that be processed and transformed as you breathe in the belly. So if there's anxiety, if there's anxiousness or worry or anger or sadness or any number of emotions, if there's anything there, you can just acknowledge that. You can say, oh man, I'm a little sad today, or man, I'm really tired today, or I'm being really critical today. And then take a deep breath and let that breath come into the belly. Let it go. Acknowledging and transforming with the breath. Let's bring the hands one over top of the other on the heart. You can take a little bow through the chin. Make sure the chest stays nice and open and the seat grounded. Just take a mini check-in to notice if any tension has come back in when you move. And take this next moment to set an intention for this month. It's the 1st of August, and so let's expand our intention today to Bring in something that you want this month. What do you want to focus on, or what do you want to bring in? And just let a single word come to mind. If nothing seems to come to mind today, I always like to offer gratitude as an intention. I think we can all benefit from making gratitude our intention at any point during the year or during the day. So just one word that bubbles up. And bring your arms down to the sides of the mat or to the sides of the body towards the mat. And take a nice deep breath in as you lift your arms overhead. You can bat the eyes open, looking up. And exhale, flex the wrists and gently press out through the palms as you sweep the arms back down. Take your time here and start to stretch out the breath. Inhaling, arms rise. When you complete your inhale is the moment that your palms touch. And then exhale and turn the breath around, sweeping the arms back down. Do that a few more times, finding your own pace. And then see if you can hold your breath in for just a second at the top. Breathing fully in, palms touch, hold, and exhale, release. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up, hold, and release. Inhale, arms come overhead. This time when the palms touch, bring them right down to the heart as you exhale in Anjali Mudra. Start to press into your hands here. Press into the hands even more to the point where your arms start to shake. You feel the muscles of the chest start to fire up. You might notice a warmth in the body, a warmth between the hands. Press just a little bit harder. Go, go, go. And soften, relax the arms. Take one more breath in and center. And as you exhale, twist to the left. Keep the head over heart over hips and only go as far as you can keep your hands at the heart center. So using the muscles of the core to help you twist here so we're not cranking or forcing, and breathe in your twist. And come back through center, take a breath in the middle. Really pay attention to this midline as you twist the other way. Everything rotating around your center, keeping the legs relaxed. We can come back to center, breathing in, sweep the arms up overhead, and we'll move into a side bend. Sweeping the left hand down, right arm up and over. And then inhale, and exhale, switch. We'll go side to side, inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale to center, and exhale, stretch it over. Now fold down over your knee and walk both arms out at a diagonal. So you're sort of stretching in the direction that your knee is pointing, and then bow your forehead down towards your knee, letting the chin soften, letting the back of the neck lengthen. Let your jaw and the face relax. Then walk your hands around through center and fold in the middle. Plant your palms onto the earth, let the chin drop down again, soften your gaze. Try to breathe into your back body. Imagine your breath could stretch all the skin on your back. Then come onto the finger pads and walk over the left knee. So again, you're at a diagonal, bowing the head down. You might be able to even rest your forehead on the knee. You can flatten the palms here. You want to try to keep that opposite hip grounding down towards the mat. So if it started to pop up, just gently draw it back down. And walk your hands back through center and take one more breath in the middle. Walk your fingertips as far forward as you can as you bow your head down, fully in, fully out. Walk the hands back towards your shins, sitting up in center, and then switch the shin that's in front to the back. Reestablish your seat, and we're going to do that same flow one more time, just with the opposite leg in front. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, right down to the heart. Press into the hands a lot, activate all the muscles, breathe in and out. Soften the press, take one more breath in center. Prepare to twist, exhale to the left. Just one breath, inhale, exhale. Come through center, inhale, exhale, twist the other way. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, come to center. Sweep your arms all the way out and overhead. And then exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, come through center. Exhale and switch. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Fold over the knee, both hands walk diagonally in the direction of the knee. Let the forehead bow down, left hip drawing down. Cycle your breath. Notice where you hold tension in the body or the impact of the stress or tension in your life on the body, right? Notice where that is held, where you feel that most. Walk your hands through center, take a fold in the middle. This side might feel a lot different than the other. You might even notice how the points press into the earth differently. So just really opening up yourself to pay attention, just to notice. And walk the hands over the left knee. Take a bow here, right hip drawing down. Breathe into your back body, into the waist. And what that really means is send your attention there, right? The breath is helping to carry the energy through your body, to propel the energy. And so whenever we say to breathe into a certain area, you're really directing your attention there. And then maybe you can perhaps even feel that you can direct the breath, even in some of those funny areas, like breathing into the feet or breathing into the hands, just practicing how you direct your attention. And walk the hands back through center. We'll take one more breath in the middle, lengthen it out. And walk the hands back towards your shins, sit up nice and tall. Take a moment right in the middle and just notice how you feel here. Maybe you can sit a little taller, a little easier. And then drop your chin down towards the chest and take a few half circles with the neck. Go at a pace that feels good to you. And if you find any points that are especially sticky or tight, hold the stretch. At times you might notice, like if you have your ear towards the right shoulder, you might notice sometimes that left shoulder wants to roll in which case you can just gently guide that left shoulder back open so you can concentrate and focus the breath and stretch in the side of the neck. You might even close your eyes and really drop your attention inwards so that this practice can be exactly what you need tonight. As you guys mentioned in the beginning, it's different for each one of us. I think that's what's really awesome about this practice is that it gives you the opportunity to focus on what you need to focus on. It helps bring balance to the areas where you need it, not the person next to you or anywhere else. Start to bring the head back through center and take one more breath in. Reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, release the hands down and swing the legs out to the side or roll over the shins and come into tabletop. Find your alignment and start to move through a few cycles of cow and cat. As you inhale, tuck the toes, lower the belly, look forward. Exhale, flatten the feet, round the spine, tuck the chin and tailbone. Let's do a few more cycles. And try to move the spine in an even way from the tip of your tailbone to the crown of your head. Move slowly enough to try to articulate that evenness through the spine. Finish the cycle that you're on. And then come back through center and tuck your toes, coming into a plank pose. So kind of like you do in downward dog, start to pedal your knees here, reaching back through one heel and then the other. Start to press into your hands, spread the hands out wide. And then find a stable pose, making sure that you find a nice posture here. No sense of collapse, right? You're lifting up through the thighs, pressing up from the arms and between the shoulders. But you also maintain the length through your body. So you feel a sort of energy directed out through your heels and through the crown of the head. Hopefully the talking distracts you a little bit from the heat starting to build. Just kidding, we want to feel that. But we're going to hold here for a couple more breaths. So really tune in and breathe for yourself. Stay engaged. And then lower your knees and come into child's pose. Hips to heels, arms stay forward, bow the head to the mat. Keep the elbows lifted in this extended child's pose, so the arms are just a little bit engaged. Breathe into your belly. Rock your head gently side to side and massage the space on the forehead on your mat. So if there's been any clenching through the face or wrinkles on the forehead today, we just kind of give this area a nice little massage. We give it permission to soften, to start to let go of the day. Pause the movement. Inhale, come into tabletop, tuck your toes, and lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take a little moment to move, maybe pedaling the feet again, or maybe coming high to the toes and then reaching through the heels. So any sort of movement that feels good. Take a couple breaths on your own to feel this out the first time you arrive. And then every time from here on out, we'll start to come into greater stillness as we arrive in this posture. So start to make your way into a comfortable, still position where the arms are engaged and you're pressing through the palms, lifting up to the hips. Right? You're lifting your hips to their highest point and pressing the thighs back. Your gaze goes past your shins. Breathe. Take a walk to the front of your mat and come into a forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Option to hold opposite elbows and sway a little side to side. Let it go here. Whatever it is that you need to let go, let it go. Pause the movement, release the elbows, bring your hands to the tops of the knees or like right above the knees and look forward. So let's start to let the blood rebalance. We've been pretty low for a while, so before we stand up too quick, let's just get ourselves reoriented. And then to come up, you're gonna come like through a cat posture. So you're gonna draw your belly button in, round your spine, and then press into the legs to start to roll all the way up. Loop your shoulders back at the top. Find Tadasana as the fingers reach down, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Release. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your feet back to plank pose. Find your posture. Take one breath in. And exhale, chaturanga. Always an option to lower the knees. Elbows kiss the ribs as you lower. Baby cobra. Engage the legs. Point the toes back. Inhale, lifting up through the chest and shoulders. Hold it here. Make sure you're not compressing the lower back. You want to maintain the length in your back body. For an extra challenge, you can hover your hands. All 10 toes on the mat. Plant the hands down, lower the forehead, press into the palms, lifting up, downward dog. Maybe a little more movement as you come into the second down dog, but starting to make your way into a more still position. Connect to your breath. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale and step through between the hands and lower your left knee. Inhale, right arm sweeps up to the sky, twist. Exhale, release it back down. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, low crescent lunge. And as you exhale, you're going to make fists with the hands, tuck the tailbone, and draw your elbows towards your waist. We're going to deepen the breath here. Inhale, reach the arms up. Make fists at the top. Exhale, blow it out the mouth. And imagine you're like flexing those yogi biceps here, right? So you're going to really squeeze the arms, draw it in. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up and exhale. Inhale, arms up. This time as you exhale, press into the front foot, half splits. Hands come down to the mat or to blocks. Straightening the front leg to your extent. And try to keep the hips level. Now take a few breaths here to fold over the front shin. But not just to round, right? Not just to like let the head like bow down, but to maintain a sort of length on the back side of the leg and through the spine. And draw the forehead towards the ankle. Just move with your breath, subtle movement. Feeling how a nice deep breath creates a sort of ebb and flow in your body. Complete your exhale. Start to walk the hands forward, tuck the back toe, and step back to plank pose. Breathe in and gather your strength. Exhale, chaturanga, lower all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra, just one breath this time. Exhale, release the head, press up through tabletop or through plank pose, and come back to downward dog. Arrive in stillness. Feel the stretch and connection with your breath. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step through between the hands, lower the back knee, untuck the toe. Inhale, left arm sweeps out and overhead. And exhale, release it back down. Press into the feet. Inhale, low crescent lunge. Make fists at the top. Exhale, draw it in towards your belly. It's like you're doing a big yes, like, oh yes. Move with your breath. Inhale. Feel super strong here. Draw it in. One more time. Inhale, arms come up. Half splits. Exhale, press into that front shin. With control, you start to release the hands down. Folding with your breath. A common thing I see a lot is that people have their chins jutting forward, right? They come into a fold like this and their neck is crimped and they're like leading with their chin. So instead, can you start to soften the chin down and be guided more from the center of your forehead? Right? There's a sort of softness that comes in when you allow the head to bow, even helping to down regulate your nervous system as you unclench the jaw. And start to walk forward, stepping back into plank pose and move through your flow. Exhale, chaturanga, option to hover halfway down. And then inhale to come either through cobra, maybe you go up a little higher, or up dog, the thighs are actually off the mat. Exhale your way to downward facing dog and take 3 breaths. Heels reaching down. Neck is soft. Full and complete breath. Bend the knees, gaze forward, walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat and fold. Inhale to reverse swan dive. Come up with a flat back, reach up. Exhale, Tadasana. Move into the next flow. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Hands to the mat, step back to plank pose and go right into chaturanga. If you can make that one long exhale, go for it. Inhale, cobra or up dog, and downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. This time bend the knee and open the hip. Gaze under your right armpit and trace a circle with your right knee. Switch the direction of your circle. And on your next inhale, straighten the legs and square off the hips. Exhale, knee to nose, hold it here. Try to get your thigh a little closer towards your chest. We're gonna do a few little dips here. So dip your shin towards the mat and then lift it back up. Dip it down, lift it up. One more time. And then this time we're gonna step all the way through. Swing that right leg through and then find your warrior one. So you're gonna pivot your back heel down and inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, land the hands over the heart. Pause here and find your footing. So your hips are generally towards the front of your mat, bending into that front knee and grounding through the back heel. Just connect to the beat of your heart here and lift up the energy up into the hands so that we're not dumping weight into the back, right? We have a nice sturdy foundation, but we don't want it to end right here at the hips. So you want to keep lifting up through your heart. Warrior one is actually a slight back bend. So see if you can recognize that here. We're going to flow with our breath. So as you inhale, you're going to breathe into the hands on the heart, into that little back bend. And then exhale, open up your arms, cactus. Inhale, bring them back to your heart. And exhale, open. Inhale to the heart. One more time, open the arms. Inhale to the heart. And then straighten your front leg and open up your stance into warrior two. So you're going to heel toe that back foot a little further back and open up the hips. So the front knee is bending right over the top of the ankle and the back toes are turned out a little more now. So we still keep our hands at the heart, and here you're drawing your tailbone down. So we still have that nice strong foundation through the legs and lifting energy up through the core. Now take a breath in at the center. Exhale, extend your arms, gaze forward. Inhale, bring it back into the heart. And exhale, send it out. Ebb and flow, in and extend. Hold the arms out, warrior two, hold the pose. Your gaze or your drishti is right past your middle finger. So steady your gaze on this fixed point and notice how that makes you feel. If it makes you feel more stable, maybe even more peaceful in the pose, more focused. Peaceful warrior, flip your front palm, inhale, sweep the arm up and back, and exhale, cartwheel the hands all the way down into a low runner's lunge. We're going to come into a twist here. Inhale, right arm sweeps out and up. Exhale, right hand down, step back, plank to chaturanga. Your option of how you flow here. So you could keep it nice and low. You could even skip out of this flow and just come to child's pose for a few breaths, or go right to downward dog. So that's always your choice. Everything in this practice is your choice. But a lot of times we'll repeat those chaturanga flows. And so if you feel like you don't want to build so much heat tonight, then you can opt to skip or modify. So let's give this flow another go on the other side. Inhale, the left leg lifts, bend the knee and open the hip. Keep the weight between the hands pretty even here and look under the left shoulder. Start to circle with your left knee. Switch the direction. Inhale, three-legged dog, kick the heel straight back. Exhale, knee to nose, hold it in underneath. Lift the thigh up towards the chest and dip the shin down towards the mat. Do that a couple of times here, lifting up and dipping down. Lift and dip. One more time. Lift it up and then swing that left foot all the way through. Warrior one. Ground your foot. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, hands land over the heart. Take a moment. Find the position of the legs if you need to modify it all. And just breathe, letting yourself be in the pose without having to move too quickly into the next. Inhale, lifting up into the heart, into the hands. And exhale, open the arms, cactus. Inhale, bring it back into the heart. And exhale, send it out. One more time. Hands to the heart, inhale. And straighten the leg, heel toe, the right foot back, open the hips, warrior two. Breathe in into the hands. Exhale and send that energy out through the arms. And connect with your breath here. Inhale and out. And it becomes a sort of dance, right? This ability to find balance between giving and receiving, to sort of cultivate this sense of joy or love in your own body first, and then to send it out. Let's hold our warrior two and steady the gaze right at the edge of that middle finger. Feel your strength here. Maybe there's some shakiness. Maybe there's some places where you're like, oh, I feel a little fatigued. But try to tune into your strength at this moment. You showed up on your mat, and that's a huge strength. You can think about all those little things you do in your day that are ways that you show your strength. Let's flip the palm, peaceful warrior. Inhale and exhale, cartwheel the hands down, find a lunge position into your twist. Inhale, left arm sweeps out and overhead, look up. Exhale, left hand down, stepping back, plank to chaturanga, or skip it all and come to downward dog, your choice. And then lower your knees to the mat and come into child's pose. Let the arms go wherever they feel most comfortable now. So maybe that's on your lower back. Maybe it's a little shark fin here with the thumbs behind the head. Let's take about 3 breaths for yourself. Bring the hands under the shoulders and press yourself up into a hero's pose. Actually, let's come into a tabletop. And then you're going to step your right knee behind the left and space your feet towards the outside edges of the mat. Now, it might be a little challenging to sit here, so you might want to have a block handy or a pillow. And we're going to shift our hips back and come to sit in between the feet. So maybe you can meet the mat, maybe you want to have that support there. And if this absolutely is not happening with the legs today, then just come into a cross-legged seat. So from the front, the knee, it's sort of like you're crossing your thighs, right? Like you would in a chair. And the knees are stacked and the feet are out to the side. So do your best here. As I mentioned, just come into a cross-legged seat if that's easier. And we're going to add on an arm stretch here. So let's start with the right arm lifting up and the left hand will stay down. And then you're going to reach behind your back and see if you can meet your fingertips on your back. If you're not meeting your fingertips, you might hold onto your shirt. Or if you have a belt or a strap, you can bring a strap between your hands to hold on to. But it's absolutely okay if your hands don't touch, right? So you can just go to wherever you can reach and keep pointing that right elbow up and left elbow down. Now notice if your lower ribs flare out. So if you had to come into like a big back bend to reach your arms back, then draw those lower ribs back in and try to open up through the shoulders. Take a few easy breaths here. Bring a little peace into your posture. And then release the arms. Just bring them down to the sides. And we're going to lean back forwards to cross the legs the other way, right? So you're going to come back onto the hands, uncross the legs, and then go the other direction. Feet go wide, and then sit back into that space that you've created. Find your posture here. And then we'll switch sides, bringing the left arm up, right hand stays down, reach behind the back and see if you can find the fingers meeting. And also notice the position of the head, right? So you might have leaned your head forward to try to get the hands back, and that's fine, but then lift your head back up so that the head is just gently pressing into that left arm. The lower ribs are drawing back. Not with force, but you're just wanting to maintain that natural curve through your spine and not to overcompensate for any tightness in the shoulders. And you can modify as needed, right? So if this is really uncomfortable on one side, maybe you just have one hand behind the back and one hand behind the head. And then do your best. Maybe you close your eyes. I tend to find that helps me sink into a greater sense of ease. Like, let yourself drop in to this posture. To take a few deep, steady, even breaths. Letting any areas of tension start to relax, letting the body know that it's safe here. And then start to release. And this time you can just uncross your legs from where you're at and extend the legs forward. So try to sit up as tall as you can here. Flex the feet so the legs are pressing down into the mat. And there's just a little engagement through the core. If it's challenging to sit up straight, take a little bend in the knees to help get your posture back. We're just going to take a little stretch through the arms. So you can bring the left arm across first, really simple stretch. And bend that elbow, release, open the arms, and switch sides. Right arm comes across, hook it with your elbow. And release, both arms come overhead, and take a forward fold. Hinging from your hips as far as you can, and when you're not really folding anymore, then just soften your head, letting that chin and jaw relax. And hold onto your big toes or the edges of your feet, or maybe onto your calves. And take the next few breaths on your own. Listen for your exhale. There's a little constriction at the back of the throat that helps you hear the sound of your exhale. It's called your Ujjayi breath. Sometimes it's called an ocean wave breath or Darth Vader breath. And it helps to calm the mind and calm the body. And it helps to bring balance to your inhale and exhale. And from here on out, we're actually going to try to lengthen the exhale. So take one or two more breaths here and see if you can let your exhale be just a little longer than your inhale. Start to lift up out of your stretch, bend the knees, bring the feet in towards the pelvis, and come into cobbler's pose or butterfly. Bring your knees up and down a few times, just a little bit of movement, and then pause, take a deep breath in, and exhale, folding forward. Lengthen your exhale. Take one more breath here. And lifting back up, bring the hands to the outsides of the knees to help guide them together and roll down to your back. When you get down to the mat, hug your knees into the chest. Make sure that your head is able to lie down on the mat without obstruction from a hair tie or clip. I'm talking to you, Nick. Just kidding. And rock a little side to side. Just give a little massage on the sides of the spine. Then pause in the middle. Keep your right knee in, extend your left leg down. Hugging the thigh towards the chest and pressing out through your left heel. Take one more breath in. And on your exhale, cross the knee over the body into a twist. The right arm opens like a T. Try to keep your shoulder blades down on the mat. The gaze can roll to the right if it feels okay for the neck. Let yourself really start to drop your weight into the mat. And even further than that, drop your weight into the earth. Find the fullness of your breath in this twist. Where does your body want to stretch a little more? Where can it come into alignment? Where can it find a little more ease? So using this attention that you've been working on all through practice, this attention on your breath, on your body, now bringing it to your whole self and just seeing where else can you find ease. What last little parts are still holding on or resisting relaxation? And come out of your twist. Bring the gaze back to center and hug that right knee into the chest. Place the right foot on the mat. Hug your left knee in towards the chest and send your right leg down. Give a squeeze here. Breathe. And on an exhale, come into your twist. Left arm opens. Gaze goes to the left. Relax the glutes, the shoulders, even the hands and the feet. Just allow yourself to find a fullness of breath. And then see what you can notice. Your breath is always giving you clues about the state of your nervous system, can give you clues of about your emotions, give you clues about where you're maybe holding tension in the body. Your breath is always speaking to you in a sense. So take these last few moments and really just listen. Start to come out of your twist. Bring that left knee in towards the chest again. Give it one more hug. And then place both feet on the mat. Make sure your spine is aligned and then your heels are close to your backside to set up for a bridge pose. Press into the feet. Inhale, lift your hips, rolling the spine off the mat. Option to interlace the hands behind the back to lift a little higher into your bridge. We'll take about 3 or 5 breaths here, bringing your attention to your belly and keeping the feet grounded evenly. Watch and or feel the breath rising and falling from the center of your abdomen. Let your belly button get as close to the spine as you can as you exhale. If the hands are interlaced, remove or release and start to bring the spine and the hips back down. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself another hug here. And then reach for the outside edges of your feet for happy baby. Knees towards the armpits, feet lift up towards the sky. Option to find some movement here or just breathe in the stillness of the pose. There's always a lot of room to play. You could straighten and bend through the legs. You could just find a little rock. Just bringing a little creative movement and freedom into this last posture, second last posture, really. Let's see if there's any last movements that you want to do here. So take the next moment and just see how you feel. And if you feel complete, you can come into Shavasana. But if there's anything else that would round out your practice, go ahead and do that now. Eventually making your way into final resting posture. And if you have a blanket handy or a pillow, I encourage you to use that under the head or under the knees. Or if you tend to run cool at this point, cover yourself up. And giving yourself permission to let go of your day, of your practice, to let go of the first half of this year, and to move forward with your intention. And at this point in your Shavasana, just allowing yourself to sink, let everything that came before to sink in and to integrate. Give yourself this moment of pause and rest before you go again. We'll practice silence for the next couple of minutes and I'll guide us out together. In these final moments, can you drop even a little more out of the head and into your body? The best way to do that is with your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing into the body and releasing from the body. Consider bringing a hand over the belly and a hand over the heart. Just gently deepen your breath into these 2 points where your hands meet the body. And with no rush, breathing in and breathing out. Whisper something really kind and loving to yourself here. Just give yourself maybe a compliment or give yourself props for how amazing, how kind, how loving, how strong, whatever it is that you want to acknowledge here right now. And continue to deepen your breath and start to wiggle fingers, toes, move the wrists and the ankles. And take a big stretch overhead. Bend your knees. Roll over to your right side. Gently press into the hands and lift up into a cross-legged seat. You can keep your eyes heavy or closed and let the hands rest on the knees. Take a moment before you open your eyes. Notice how you feel here. And bring your hands together, either right over top of the heart or in Anjali Mudra, also known as prayer hands. And take a final moment for your gratitude and or for your prayers. Whatever resonates with you, just cultivating so much gratitude for everything that you have in your life, for all of the challenges and the opportunities that have guided you to this point, and to all of the people and animals and experiences that will continue to guide you forward. Let's take one more breath together and seal in our practice with a humble bow in reverence and in honor of yourself, of one another, and the lineage of this practice as a whole. Thank you, thank you. Namaste.